Metals and non-metals. There are about 115 known elements at present. There are similarities as well as differences in their properties. On the basis of their properties, all the elements can be divided into two main groups. They are metals and the second one is non-metals. Before going into this topic, we have to recollect three terms which we have studied in the previous classes. They are malleable, ductile and brittle. What does malleable means? What does malleable mean? Malleability is the property of a substance by which it can be beaten with a hammer to form thin sheets. Or we can say the process of making sheets is known as malleability without breaking. Ductility or ductile, we can say it can be stretched or drawn to form thin wires. And brittle means on hammering or stretching, it breaks into pieces. This is a basic concept. Now come to metals. Metals are elements that conduct heat and electricity, which are malleable and ductile. Metals are also lustrous, or we can say shiny, hard, strong, heavy and sonorous. All these properties we have studied in the previous classes. I think it is in the 9th standard. Now in detail we will come to the physical properties of metals. The main physical properties of the metals are as explained now. Metals are good conductors of heat. Metals allow heat to pass through them easily. We have various instances which we have felt that metals are a good conductor of electricity. Otherwise we can now do one exercise like this. Catch hold of a metal rod and heat the other end with the help of a burner. We can feel heat. It is just because it passes heat energy through it. Metals are generally good conductors of heat, or we can say they are thermal conductors. Silver metal is Ag. Silver metal is the best conductor of heat. Copper and aluminum metals can also conduct heat. The cooking utensils, water boilers, etc. are made up of the metals just because of this property. Now come to the conducting of electricity. Metals are good conductors of electricity. All metals allow electricity to pass through it. Metals are good conductors of electricity. Metals offer very little resistance to flow of electricity. Silver is again the best conductor of electricity. Copper is the next one. Aluminum tungsten is following. Electric wires are made up of copper and aluminum metals just because they are good conductors of electricity. Next one is metals are malleable. Metals are malleable. That is, metals can be beaten into thin sheets with a hammer without breaking. Gold and silver metals are the best malleable substances or metal elements. We have seen silver foils for decorating sweets. Aluminum foils are used for packing food items like biscuits, chocolates, medicines, cigarettes, etc. That is, they are malleable substances. They can be drawn into thin sheets. Now, metals are ductile. Metals are ductile. That is, metals can be drawn or stretched into thin wires. The property which allows the metals to be drawn into the thin wires are called ductility. Ductility is another important characteristic property of metal. Gold is the most ductile metal. That is why it is used for making ornaments. Copper and aluminum metals are also ductile and can be drawn into thin copper wires and aluminum wires, which are used in electric wires. Metals are lustrous. Metals are lustrous. What is luster? Metallic luster. What is metallic luster? Metallic luster is the glow of or the shine of metal surfaces. Metals are lustrous. We can say they have a shining surface. The property of metal of having shining surface is called metallic luster. The metals lose their shine or brightness on keeping in air for a long time and acquire a dull appearance due to the formation of a thin layer of oxide, carbonate, or sulfide on their surface by the slow action of the various gases present in the air. Next one is metals are generally hard. There is an exception. Sodium and potassium are not that much hard. Most of the metals are hard, but all the metals are not equally hard. The hardness varies from metal to metal. Sodium and potassium can be cut with the help of a knife. The hardness is one property of the metals. Metals are strong except the same sodium and potassium, which are not strong. By saying that metals are strong, we mean that they can hold large weights without snapping or without breaking. Iron metal is very strong. Due to this property of iron, it is used in the construction of bridges, buildings, railway lines, girders, machines, vehicles, and chains, etc. Metals are solids at room temperature, except an exception, mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal. Most of the metals like iron, copper, aluminum, silver, and gold are solids at room temperature, and only one metal, mercury, is a liquid metal at room temperature. Metals have heavy, or we can say high density, or it is metals are heavy. Metals are heavy. Metals are heavy, or it is having high density. here also we can say except sodium and potassium. Metals have high densities. Now, high boiling point and melting point. Metals have high melting point and boiling point, here also except sodium and potassium. For example, iron is having a melting point 1535 degrees Celsius. It's high, so high melting point. Metals are often having high melting and boiling points. That's also property. Next is metals are sonorous. Metals are sonorous. Metals can make sound when it is hit with an object. Sonorous means capable of producing a deep ringing sound. The property of metals being sonorous is called sonorousness or sonority. It is used for making bells, strings for guitar or sitar. Next one is color. Metals usually have silver or grey color except copper and gold. Copper has a reddish brown color, whereas gold has an yellow color. Metals are taking part in chemical reaction also. We have referred earlier. During chemical reactions, metals can form positive ions by losing electrons. Based on this observation, we can write a definition for metals. Metals are the elements which form positively charged ions. Metals are known as electropositive elements just because they can form positive ions by losing electrons. The most abundant metal in the earth crust is aluminum. It is about 7% of the total earth crust. The second one is iron, that is about 4% of the total. Now come to non-metals. Non-metals. What are non-metals? Non-metals are the elements that do not conduct heat and electricity, and they are neither malleable nor ductile. They are brittle. They have no lustrous property. They have dull appearance. Non-metals are generally soft and not that much strong. They are light substances and non-sonorous. Now come in detail. Non-metals. They are not a conductor of heat, and they are not a conductor of electricity. So, non-metals are non-conductor of heat and electricity. Non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity because, unlike metals, they have no free electrons, which is necessary to conduct heat and electricity. This is the property. Next one is non-metals are non-malleable, non-ductile, but they are brittle. Non-metals are non-malleable. They cannot be beaten with a hammer to form thin sheets. They are not ductile, and just because of that, they cannot be stretched to form thin wires. Solid non-metals can neither be hammered into thin sheets nor drawn into thin wires. They will be broken into pieces, or we can say they are brittle. Non-metals are non-lustrous. Non-lustrous. or we can say they are not shiny. Non-metals do not have the luster, which means that non-metals do not have a shining surface. It has a dull appearance. But there is also an exception. Iodine. Iodine is having a lustrous appearance, being a non-metal. It has a shining surface. Non-metals are non-sonorous. Non-sonorous. They cannot produce sound when hit with an object. They are generally, which one? Non-metals are generally soft. Exception is there, diamond, which is an allotrope of carbon. Diamond is hard, but all non-metals other than diamond is soft. Non-metals are not strong. They are easily broken. Graphite is a non-metal which is not strong. It cannot be beaten into make graphite sheet. It will be broken into pieces or it will get snapped. Non-metals are not strong. They are light and having low density. They are light and having low density. Non-metals have low densities. That is, non-metals are light in nature. They have low melting point and boiling point. Here is also an exception. They are having low melting point and boiling point. Which one is having? Non-metals are having low melting point and boiling points. But here is also an exception. Here is the exception is the graphite. Sorry, it's a diamond, and we can say diamond is having its melting point 3500 degree Celsius. So it is having high melting point, but all other non-metals are comparatively having low melting points and boiling points. Now come to the color. Non-metals have many different colors. Many colors like sulfur is yellow, phosphorus is white or red, graphite is black, chlorine is yellowish green, hydrogen and oxygen are colorless. So it is having color. That's a common property. Now the last one is non-metals may be solid, liquid and gas at room temperature. Non-metals can exist in all the three physical states. They are solid, liquid and gaseous forms. These are the properties. Now come to the other properties. In fact, there are 22 non-metals or non-metallic elements. Out of these, 10 are non-metals solid. 10 non-metal solids. 10 are solid. One non-metal, which is known as bromine, is a liquid. Bromine is a liquid, whereas the remaining 11 are gaseous form, in the gaseous form. Now, what will they do in chemical reactions that we have to refer? During chemical reactions, non-metals can form negative ions by gaining electrons. Based on this observation, we can say a definition on chemical reaction of the non-metal as non-metals are elements which form negative ions by gaining electrons or accepting electrons. Otherwise, we can say non-metals are electronegative elements and metals are electropositive, electronegative elements. Here is also an exception. Hydrogen loses electrons to form positive ions, but it is a non-metal. That will come later. Though the non-metals are small in number when compared to metals, but they play a very important role in our daily life. The carbon is the most important one, and without oxygen we cannot live, that we know. And there are some exceptions in the physical properties of the elements, non-metals, metals and non-metals. They are electrical conductivity. We have learned that non-metals do not conduct electricity, but carbon's allotrope, that is graphite, is an exception. In the form of carbon's form is graphite, and it can conduct electricity, being a non-metal. So graphite is a good conductor of electricity like the metals. So here is one exception. Luster, metallic luster. We have studied that non-metals do not have luster and all metals have metallic luster. But iodine is a non-metal which is having metallic luster, or we can say it is lustrous, having shining surface. Now come to hardness and softness. We know all metals are hard, but alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium are soft, which can be cut with the help of a knife. Carbon in the form of diamond, it's a non-metal, but it is extremely hard. Now, physical state, we have studied that metals are solid, but mercury is an exception, and it is in the liquid form at room temperature. Melting point and boiling point. We know that all metals have high melting and boiling points, but sodium, potassium, gallium and cesium are having low melting and boiling points. When diamond is considered, it is having a high melting point like the metals. It is a non-metal, but it is having a high melting point. We cannot classify, so the density is also there. Density, we have known that the metals have high densities, but alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium are having low densities. So we cannot classify the elements as metals and non-metals only based on the physical properties alone. So because they are having some exceptions, so it can be classified into metals and non-metals on the basis of physical as well as the chemical properties of the elements.